to our chat room segment on the Cradle TV Show on NTA Channel 12 Uyo, your true platform for development. My name is Dara Odoma and I'm not here alone. I am with Emmanuel Ofon, my co-presenter, and a very reputable personality in not just in Nigeria, in Akwa Ibom, both in diaspora. I am talking of Attorney Asukwo Mendie Achibong Esquire, who practiced law in the United States of America. He has a wealth of extensive experience in defense counsel, not just here but in diaspora. So he also formed the Nigeria for Democracy NMD party in 2018. This great personality was one of the presidential candidates in Nigeria in the 2019 presidential candidates. Join me as I welcome Attorney Asukwo Mendie Achibong. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dara, for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. I'm actually really humbled. Thank you so very much.
A quick one there, sir. Let us know more about what we have already known. Just shed more light and take us more about who Attorney Asukwo Mendie Achibong Esquire really is.
Yeah, I have a background in biochemistry. I also have a background in computer engineering. And I do have, of course now, as you stated earlier, a background in law. I have a Juris Doctor of Law, I have a Master of Laws, Intellectual Property, both from the United States of America, and also a recent history of trying to be of much use to my country, the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, sir. Though we would not like to attend to that, but looking in retrospect to what played out during your presidential election in 2019, and we understand the case is still in court. So, will you like to go back again in 2023, looking at the zoning of presidential seat to the south, and it's coming to your houses where you are from? Are you contesting, and if yes, which political party are you using this time around as a platform to take you there?
Two things here. I don't believe in the idea of zoning. I believe that the best person that can lead the country forward should be brought into the position of the presidency by the majority of the people who actually go out to vote in the general elections. That's why voting is very, very important. The best person, not zoning. I don't think there is any zoning in the Nigerian constitution. I don't really think so. But going to the second part of, if I want to run for 2023 and on what platform do I want to run? All the platforms that exist today, to a great extent, did exist when we formed Nigeria for Democracy. The very reason we formed Nigeria for Democracy is because we believe this would be the best vehicle to bring about our vision to implement in the Federation of Nigeria. I'm not particularly convinced that there is any other platform that shares that specific vision of taking Nigeria to the lofty heights that we have for our dear country. Now, if we find that there is such a platform out there, well, I'll be willing to consider them. But you did mention that, and it's just general public knowledge, that we are in court in regards to the deregistration of Nigeria for Democracy as a political party in Nigeria. And the judgment will soon be out. Let's hope and pray and believe that facts being on our side and the law being on our side, we will be able to come out victorious, and that party will continue.
Okay.
All right. Okay, sir. Looking at the direct primaries issue, let's deliberate on that. The president is about to sign into law. Are you comfortable with the direct primaries? And if you are not comfortable with it, so why do you object to the direct primaries, or why do you support it?
Precisely, when you're talking about the direct primaries, you're asking me to compare and contrast between the direct and the indirect primaries, and which side I would like to appeal.
Yeah.
When you look at the direct primaries, you're going to have actual and physical people on the ground based on the register that the parties do have on the ground in their local government. When you look at the indirect primaries, you're going to have something slightly different, not based on the actual presence of people on the ground. Now, let's look at it. Which of the two will best suit the development and growth of the political parties? One, And two, will bring about the best candidate through the process of nominating a political, of nominating a candidate for a specific position. Two, and which one is the least system that can be manipulated by politicians, because politicians, their main goal is generally at that level to win. It will just have to depend on what Nigerians believe is the very best. If the president wants to give his assent to the direct primaries position, that's fine. He's going to impose a certain level of burden on the Independent Electoral Commission to be able to monitor the direct primaries, because it's almost going to be like a general election. And it's going to impose some level of burden on political parties in order for them to be able to actually proceed with the direct primaries. But one of the good things is that because of the budgetary concerns and the imposition of the financial burden on this on certain political parties, you're going to have parties coming together to merge so as to bear the burden. There might be a reduction in the number of political parties and a refining of the political process in Nigeria.
Sir, you did not tell us if you are recontesting for the presidential election come 2023.
Action.
2023 is not far away, but it is quite far away if you are poor, if you are without any form of income, if you are without any form of good education, if you are without good healthcare system, if you don't have good roads, if you don't have potable water to drink, if you don't have constant power supply, and to top it all up, if you don't have a safe and secure Nigeria. Nigeria is not at a point where we say that we need a driver. It's akin to a car that has actually broken down, the engine is shut off and the tires are run off, there is nothing really working, and somebody puts himself forward as a driver. What we need now is to get a mechanic to bring Nigeria to the point where it begins to at least start the engine and then move forward before we start scrambling and jostling for the position of the presidency. So you become the president of Nigeria. It might not exist in 2023. Let's see how we can build the country forward, bring about a united Nigeria and a safe and secure Nigeria first and foremost, before we begin the process of putting ourselves out there as the very possible best candidate for Nigeria in 2023.
Okay, sir, away from politics, what else do you do? Are you into this NGO, non-governmental organization, or any form of businesses? What are you really into aside from politics?
This is one of the most important questions that I've asked. All the other questions are pretty important. Now, let me tell you why it is important, then I'll jump into what I'm doing right now. It is important that people that are involved in politics also contribute to the society in other ways. Politics must and should not be your mainstay and form of income. It should be a selfless service to the Federation and to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Having said that, and you remember that I said at the beginning, I don't consider myself as a politician in that sense. I consider myself as a person who has put himself forward to render service selflessly to my people and to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, the other thing that I do, the main thing that I do is I'm a lawyer, an international lawyer, based in the United States, but I'm here in Nigeria as well. The legal practice is transnational now. And also I have a foundation, as you asked, a non-for-profit organization, Amazing Tower Foundation, that actually promotes the girl child. But we've moved forward now into the child in terms of education. Now, you may find out that something as simple as sandals can keep a child from being able to go to school. Something as simple as transportation can keep a child from being able to go to school. You never know where the next leader of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will come from, or the next local government chairman will come from. Except we build that individual child, we are destroying our society. And that is the focus for me today. Build that individual child to become someone in the future, just as God has given me the opportunity to be the person and the man I am today.
All right, you talk about your legal practice being transnational. We would like you to expatiate on that and moreover, take us into your NGO. What's the impact ever since you've started, and how many years now have you been in the advocacy, at the forefront of the advocacy?
Two parts, the transnational aspect of the legal practice. You know, one can sit anywhere and become an outside counsel for a company in the United States or in any place where one is legally permitted to practice. I practice in the United States. I can stay in any place, in any part of the world, and be a legal representative for the organization and give them advice. My practice is mainly in the United States. I get consulted by companies from different parts of the country based on what they want to do in the United States. And individuals still consult with me as well. Getting to the part where you asked about the foundation. Recently this year, we did donate about 15 computers and actually added training to school in regards to the computers in that school. You have to understand that to be able, for our young ones to be able to compete, they must be computer literate. If you are not computer literate, you cannot compete with the people that are coming into positions, different positions, or looking for different positions, both in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. If you look at the labor market now in Nigeria, the competition is not between Nigerians. The competition is between Nigerians residing in Nigeria and Nigerians in diaspora who want to also come back. A lot of people have left the shores of Nigeria within the last 10, 15 years, and a lot of them are coming back. Parents are bringing back their children, and they are competing with the young ones that actually did remain here. The even playing field would be the ability to understand and to use the computer.
Alright, so let's narrow down to the beautiful city of Akwa Ibom. About a few months ago, Akwa Ibom turned 34 and Nigeria at 61. Would you love to say that? I mean, we've actually gone a long way as a state and as a nation. What would you love to say about the good city of Akwa Ibom and Nigeria as a whole?
Well, Akwa Ibom State elicits some kind of hope and brings about some level of aspiration for more, although we have done so much. When you look at Akwa Ibom State today, you have to compare the state to what it was years and years back. To a lot of the people that will be listening, we used to be at the poor end of the joke when people will have TV programs and use us as jokers. I'll give you an example. The Masquerade, Chief Zebrodaya. The person there that was the funny one in a non-amusing manner was someone, Gringoria Kabweze of and he will answer Okasa, I just the answer here they come. Those things are ending. You don't have us being the butt of the jokes anymore. And if you want to really look at it, Akwa Ibom children and young ones were one of the most trafficked people in the whole of Africa. There is hardly any place in the English part of West Africa that you won't go to see our young ones being in servitude as house help or store clerks. We were trafficked because we just did not have the financial power to keep our children or to remain in the state, and we just didn't have the educational capability and ability to develop our own educational system and our own children. But now what has happened? We've developed our linguistic ability. We are one of the best English-speaking states in the whole of West Africa. Apart from that, we've gone far in terms of education. You have so many colleges here. But before we used the aspiration used to be College of Education, Teachers Training College, or College of Education, France. And but now, what do we have? We have polytechnics, federal and state. We have universities, federal and state. We have secondary schools, or in almost every most villages that you go to, we have secondary schools. Education now is not a problem. The problem now is to raise the quality of the education that we do have. The next step would be, how do we grade ourselves in terms of infrastructure? We have really grown tremendously in the last 15 years in terms of infrastructure. The roads are there, The challenge is how do we maintain the roads? I mean, erosion, the natural part of life is erosion. Erosion is really affecting our roads in the state, and that is a difficult thing to overcome. But I pray that the government works on it. The other aspect of it is jobs, jobs, and jobs. Jobs will maintain the peace and stability of any society. And that is where our challenge is. Right now we have peace in Akwa Ibom State. But that peace is because we are naturally peaceful people. But there comes a time that we must recognize that our young ones have to work, and we have to move our young ones from the point of big boss, anything for your guys. Otherwise, we are developing and growing a very dangerous society. So, in terms of infrastructure, we've moved forward, but not enough. In terms of education, we've moved really forward, but not enough. In terms of jobs and the community for business development, we've moved forward, but for business development, we've not done that much. And that's the part that is a little bit saddening.
All right, Doctor, tell us, are you comfortable with the government and the way governance is being run in Akwa Ibom State by His Excellency Governor Udo Emmanuel? And let us go national, take it on the side of His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. Are you comfortable the way it is? And beside that, 2023 is just at the corner. So what kind of governor are you expecting for the Akwa Ibom people come 2023?
Well, in terms of the government here in Akwa Ibom State, I will leave the people to make that decision in the next general elections if they are satisfied with the system of government, the manner in which they've been governed, not just by this government in power, but by the previous one and the one before them. Is everyone happy with it? Because I think there's just been one party that has led the people of Akwa Ibom State since the return of the democracy in the country. Let the people make that decision at the next general election. In regards to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the presidency of President Muhammadu Buhari, it is a little bit difficult because when you look at things as they are in Nigeria, no matter how much you have, your life is at risk, no matter where you are in the Federation of Nigeria. The level of insecurity is so high that no one can be comfortable in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have a right, and the government owes me a duty to make sure that they provide a safe road, good road, for me to be able to drive from here to Kafanchan and proceed to Sokoto and come back without incident. And that means I must not be harassed by bandit terrorists. I must not be harassed by policemen. I must not be harassed by military men. I must not be harassed by armed robbers. I must not be harassed by Boko Haram. I must not be harassed by anyone. It means I should have free movement within the Federation of Nigeria at any time to any place. But that is not what is obtaining, and in that regard, the federal government has failed woefully. The second aspect of it is we have a high level of unemployment. When we talk about unemployment, we are talking of almost 45% of the youth in Nigeria being unemployed. And those are the ones that we can actually count. Take a step back. Go into the hinterlands. You will see people that have become unemployable. And I'm talking about educated people. You see people that were never even employable. And I'm talking about people who didn't have the opportunity to go beyond primary school. And then you see people that are outright a danger to the society. People who have never known their parents and have never been to primary school. They are there in the hinterlands. We have not gone in to intercede and to act on their behalf as to lift them from where they are to where they ought to be in a sane and civilized society. In that regard, the government has also failed. In regards to providing security specifically to young ones, those who want to go with dreadlocks, those who want to go with iPhone, those who want to go with laptops, to be able to go to any part of Nigeria without being harassed, I think the government has failed in that regard as well. In terms of the high prices of food stuff, I mean, a hungry man is an angry man. Let me not even go in that direction. I think it's painful enough to anyone that is listening. Let them go to the market. There is no demarcation for APC or PDP or NFD. We all go to the same market. We all come back with the same pains. The 1,000 naira is not fetching what it used to fetch before. Now, in terms of petrol, which is the mainstay of our economy and the mainstay of our businesses. Now, remember, the epileptic supply of power by NEPA, I don't care whatever name you want to call it now, it's still NEPA. It affects everybody. So, if you own a business, you are also going to have a generator. And if you have a generator, you most likely will buy petrol or you buy diesel. Now, as the prices goes up, the cost of production of your products goes up, the cost of maintaining your business goes up as well, and that gets transferred to the end user. So it means Nigerians are being slapped with epileptic power supply and slapped with high cost of living and high products that are produced in Nigeria. Now you begin to talk about the infrastructures in the country. The roads are non-existent, power supply has failed, water supply, you can't even begin to talk about that. Security, that has completely broken down. We are losing security personnel almost on a daily basis in different parts of the country, and these are highly trained security personnel. Now, what has the government done practically? Well, when you look at the supply, the availability of petrol, they've done exceptionally well. There are no long queues in the country, and I pray there will be no long queues this holiday season. In the last 4 years or 6 years since President Buhari has been in power, we've not had any serious shortfall in the availability of petrol. The other aspect of it is the independence of the judiciary, the independence of the local government. They have at least mouthed some things in that regard, and I see steps being taken in terms of the independence of the local government. But in regards to the independence of the judiciary, we are still lagging behind. The blight that I do see that will stain the administration in terms of the judiciary and in terms of the legal aspect of our lives here in Nigeria is the failure of the government to always obey court orders, and most significantly, the mess that we did have with the Chief Justice of the Federation of Nigeria, Onogen, and the present Chief Justice of the Federation today. That was very unpleasant, and that was a poor precedent that was set. Generally, how would I rate President Muhammad Buhari? Would I rate him high? Not particularly. Would I rate him as a failure? Well, not particularly. Would I advocate that he should be president of Nigeria today, knowing what I know about him today? Not particularly. I'm just so glad that 2023 is around the corner, and I see Nigeria coming out of this a much stronger country with a more present president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Look, Dara, this has been a fantastic experience. This has been just wonderful. The opportunity to be able to speak and for people to know that there is a better Nigeria in the near future. I'm just so humbled by your invitation, and thank you so very much. God bless you.
All right, I really want to say a very big thank you for your coming to the Cradle TV show, and we're talking at length. You've said so many things. I want to urge you to keep being the real person and the good person that you are. Alright, that has been a size of the show on the program. I'm sure you had a swell moment listening to Etwani Esukwomendi Achibong Esquire. Alright, the Cradle TV Show, your true platform for development. This is where we're going to draw our curtain. I am Dara Dama with Emmanuel Fon. Thank you for staying glued to your preferred station. Until I come your way, same time next week for now. Bye.